Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. The clock was ticking down on New Year's Eve in Los Angeles, and the air was electric with anticipation. The city sparkled under a blanket of lights, reflecting the glamour and the chaos that always seemed to surround the lives of those at Forrester Creations. Inside, the fashion world's elite had gathered to ring in the new year with glitz, glamour, and just a hint of scandal. Yet, amidst the laughter, champagne, and carefully rehearsed smiles, all eyes, at least the ones that mattered, were on Deacon and Taylor. Theirs was a connection that had been teased, tested, and tantalized over countless seasons, a story that kept fans on the edge of their seats. And now, with only moments left before midnight, the possibility of a long-awaited kiss hung in the air like a fragile ornament, waiting to be shattered or cherished. Deacon had always been the quintessential bad boy with a heart that refused to stay hidden. His charm was undeniable, the kind that could make even the most stoic heart skip a beat. But it wasn't just his charm. It was his vulnerability, the subtle moments when his walls dropped, revealing a man who had loved, lost, and somehow kept hoping against hope. Taylor, on the other hand, was the embodiment of grace mixed with a streak of boldness that only a few could truly understand. She had weathered storms, both personal and professional, and emerged not just intact, but radiant in her resilience. Their dynamic had always been a dance of push and pull, a magnetic force that neither could deny, yet both approached with cautious trepidation. Tonight, the tension was palpable. The party around them seemed like a distant hum, a backdrop to the unspoken energy that crackled between them. Taylor's eyes, always so expressive, flicked toward Deacon, and for a moment, the world fell away. He was watching her too, leaning against the edge of the marble bar, a glass of champagne in hand but clearly distracted. There was an unspoken question in the air, a moment of daring that begged to be answered. Would they let the night's magic finally bridge the gap years of hesitation had created? Or would they retreat, letting time and circumstance dictate their story once again? As the countdown began, each number resonated like a drumbeat in the stillness that enveloped them. 10-9, the room seemed to shrink, the music fading into insignificance as Deacon's gaze met Taylor's, holding, daring, and promising all at once. 7, and the air between them felt like it could ignite. They both knew the consequences of surrendering to the moment, yet the lure of what could be was irresistible. 6-5, hearts raced, breaths synchronized, and for a fleeting instant, it was as if nothing else existed but the space between them. 43, and Deacon took a step closer, the subtle movement unnoticed by everyone else but monumental in meaning. Taylor's pulse quickened. The world outside their bubble seemed to dissolve. 2-1, and the revelers shouted, "Happy New Year." The sound of cheers, clinking glasses, and fireworks exploded around them. Yet in the eye of the storm, Deacon and Taylor found themselves suspended in time. It was the perfect cinematic moment, the kind that could define a relationship or shatter it depending on the courage of those involved. And then it happened. A kiss, gentle yet electric, tentative yet filled with all the pent-up emotion of years of near misses, stolen glances, and whispered promises. It was a moment of surrender, a confession without words, a merging of two souls who had been circling each other in a delicate dance for longer than anyone could remember. The fireworks outside mirrored the sparks inside, illuminating faces, eyes, and hearts in a dazzling celebration of what was and what could be. The kiss was not just a kiss, it was a declaration. A declaration that perhaps the past, with all its heartbreaks and betrayals, could be set aside in favor of a future ripe with possibility. Deacon's hands found Taylor's waist, steadying her yet also anchoring himself, grounding them both in the reality that had always seemed just out of reach. Taylor's fingers lingered at his shoulders, the warmth of their touch affirming the connection that had remained, against all odds, unbroken. Around them, the world continued to celebrate, but in that intimate bubble, time slowed, honoring the gravity of a kiss that spoke volumes. As they parted slightly, just enough to breathe but not enough to break the spell, there was laughter, shy yet genuine, and a look that communicated everything words could not. They had crossed the threshold into a new chapter, a moment that could either solidify into lasting love or become another fleeting episode in the saga of their lives. Yet tonight, they chose to be present, to allow themselves the vulnerability and exhilaration of genuine connection. Moments after the kiss, Deacon whispered something to Taylor, his voice a mix of mischief and sincerity, and she responded with a smile that could melt glaciers. The energy between them shifted, from anticipation to contentment, a subtle acknowledgement that they had made a choice together. And though the night continued, with friends and colleagues pulling them into conversations, dancing, and champagne toasts, there was a quiet understanding that this New Year's Eve would forever be etched in their shared history. Fans watching from afar had long speculated about the potential of this pairing, and tonight delivered more than just speculation. It delivered a moment of undeniable chemistry, a visual and emotional confirmation that the connection between Deacon and Taylor was alive and thriving. The kiss, framed by fireworks, laughter, and the glow of the city, became a symbol of hope, reconciliation, and the enduring magic that soap operas do best, making viewers feel that anything, even long-awaited love, is possible. As the night wore on, the memory of the kiss lingered, both for the characters and the audience. Deacon and Taylor's story was far from over, but this moment, the midnight countdown kiss, would serve as a benchmark, a turning point from which new dynamics, challenges, and possibilities could emerge. It was a reminder that in the whirlwind of passion, ambition, and family drama, there are moments that cut through the noise, moments that resonate because they are honest, bold, and profoundly human. By the time the champagne glasses were empty and the last of the fireworks faded from the Los Angeles sky, Deacon and Taylor had already begun navigating the new terrain of their relationship. Eyes met, hands brushed, and subtle smiles carried the weight of understanding. For fans, it was the kind of scene that would be replayed, discussed, and dissected for weeks, a moment that captured everything the show has built over decades: tension, romance, and the beautiful unpredictability of love. And as the night ended, one thing was clear: this New Year's Eve kiss was more than just a fleeting romantic gesture. It was a statement, a promise, and perhaps a prelude to a season filled with heart-stopping drama, tender vulnerability, and the kind of storytelling that keeps viewers coming back, eager to see what would happen next. Deacon and Taylor had stepped into the new year together, and for the first time in a long time, the possibilities felt endless. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.